Hello, it's Molly Reamer with Bridget's Grove in 30 Days of Goddess, and this is actually a reboot of a past video about the power of daily practice. The audio on that video was very low, and so I'm rebooting it because I think there's a lot to consider, and I wanted to make sure to make that information accessible to you. And so one of the things, so this is about the power of daily practice, the magic of daily practice, the invitation of daily practice, and the joy of daily practice. And it is important to remember that nurturing, nourishing, supporting, and advocating for daily practice is actually about nurturing, nourishing, and supporting yourself, and about creating the world you wish to live in. It's about standing up for the sacred and for yourself in your own life. Sometimes people get caught up in wanting to know the formula or how to get it right, and I'm as susceptible to this as anyone. I love getting good grades. I liked being a good student. I want to get it right. I want to be a good person. I want to get it right. And but you can get caught up in that formula, in the need to do it right. And then it starts to make daily practice feel like an obligation or a must do, or an obligation, an expectation to meet, something you're trying to do to prove something, rather than being what it truly is about, which is about making a space for the sacred and yourself in your life. And so truly at the heart, daily practice is about creating a container for the sacred, a reliable, regular space for the sacred in your lives, in your days, and in the awareness in your heart. It's about making room. It's about making space. Daily practice is about consciously and intentionally making space for the sacred, returning to center, and consciously holding a space for yourself and for the goddess in your own life. But not only that, in the center of your own life. Like, we need to come back out of the margins and into the center of our own lives. That does not make you self-centered. That makes you here. That makes you here. So maybe it sounds dramatic, but I truly believe that daily practice can change the world. It will change your life, and it changes everything. It changes everything, not in a rule-based or obligatory way, but in a relational way, as you permit the practice itself to teach you in each day. And so in my own life, I have spent so much time stepping into the invitation that's freely offered each day. The invitation is freely offered each day. It's up to us to see and accept the invitation and to step into it. And I have spent so much time stepping into it, out onto the deck each morning, onto the road to go for my walk, onto my yoga mat. But this stepping into this invitation that's offered freely in each day has taught me to expect magic. It has taught me to expect the sacred to speak. It has taught me to be alert to the whispers of the sacred that are all around us all the time. It has taught me to be awake to magic, to be alert to magic, to be alive inside of magic. And we need time in stillness. We need time to listen. We need time to listen to what's coming from within. And we need time that is unfettered, without expectation, without obligation. We need time that is unfettered, simply to see and be, to bear witness to the world as it is and what is unfolding in front of us right now, and into our own internal state, into the whispers, of longing that rise up from within when we're alone and we can listen to ourselves. And we need these moments of presence. We need holy here-ness. And presence, I really believe that presence and holy here-ness, that will change the world. It changes our experience of being alive. It ripples out to change our families, to change our friends, to change our communities, and to change the world. And yes, so I say that as that's time spent in the Temple of the Ordinary. That's the name of my most recent book, and it's going to be a name of a series of books, like what do we learn in the Temple of the Ordinary? And the Temple of the Ordinary is what we step into each day. When we open our door and step outside, we're in the Temple of the Ordinary. When we are sitting in the drive-thru at McDonald's, we are in the Temple of the Ordinary. When we are waiting at the dentist's office, we are in the Temple of the Ordinary. When we are lying on our backs on the earth, we are in the Temple of the Ordinary. When we are untethered from devices, we are in the Temple of the Ordinary. And I guess we could have a device in the Temple of the Ordinary too. I'm talking to you on a device right now. But being in the Temple of the Ordinary is about stepping into the present. And I find it very difficult to simultaneously be connected to what's going on around me while I'm also tethered to a device. And so Time spent in the temple of the ordinary allows us to see what there is to see and learn what there is to learn and listen to what there is to hear and discover what there is to discover. And as we allow ourselves those spaces, those opportunities, those times and places, we grow to expect and experience the magic because we learn to trust it. We learn to trust ourselves and we learn to trust the sacred. And through daily practice, I've learned to let that teach me. I've learned to expect those moments to be there and to sparkle and to shine and to be full of little scraps of delight. I've learned to let presence teach me, to let the small experiences of holy here-ness teach me and speak to me. Whether it's the way the light is in the trees right now, actually as I'm sitting here, the leaves are falling like in a little autumn snow globe, like as I'm speaking. And that's what's here. That's what's alive for me right now. And daily practice invites us to bear witness to that. So it could be the way the light's in the trees. It could be the cards that we draw each day. It could be the birds that we see, or the flowers that are in bloom, or the plants that are growing, or something that the weather is doing. All of these things have the power, hold the power to teach us something in every day. This commitment to regular daily practice primes our hearts, it primes our vision, it primes our understanding to be alert to these moments, to see them and be aware of them, to collect them, to hold them, to let them fuel us and nurture us and feed us and help us grow. Daily practices can look very different from person to person, and practices for an individual can vary widely on different days. One of the things that delights and enchants me about daily practice is it's never the same. I always learn something new. I always see something new. Even if I have to reach kind of far to see it, I can still see something new. And I have come to trust wholeheartedly that there is always another lesson. There is always a little scrap of magic. There is always something. And that's what I invite you into as well. Paradoxically, the true gift of daily practice is that it is always different. This is its enchantment and its delight, and a thing to savor most of all. Stepping into the present, opening your heart and your awareness, and looking and listening and feeling. What is there going to be today? What are you going to see today? What will you learn today? This is the persistent and insistent and consistent enchantment of daily practice. Daily practice is about consciously holding space for the sacred and creating a container in which to listen and in which to be present. Even a very simple practice or a 15-second gesture, such as holding your hands in prayer pose and kissing your fingertips, can recenter you back into home and into center. Daily practice is not a formula, but it is a promise. It's a promise that you're making, and it's a promise that you're receiving. It's a relationship that you're building with yourself, with the goddess, and with the world itself, with the rhythms of life itself. It's a promise that you're keeping and that is being kept to you, all rolled up together in a magical bundle of both opportunity and trust. So, thank you for being here and for stepping into the magic of daily practice with me. I promise you that something will happen and that it will change your life. Thanks for being here.